Nothing new there. The first few days of every month are always noisy.
What's all that commotion? Are they arguing in there?
Did he say he came from Natlan?
No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Oh no.
Bro!
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again.
Oh, you know one another.
He's a friend! Yeah! A saurian friend of a human friend!
Great. Well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the Udex? I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before? But wasn't the trial overseen by another judge?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh, wow! Oh, no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the case?
Yes. Let me fill you in.
Wow! It really is exactly like Lapine Pauline's sketch! That must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request. Don't you worry.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this Guns Lost and Found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, we were just about to go help out with Lapine Pauline's convention. If there's any news, we'll keep you all posted.
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kakuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kakuku. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
All right then, we'd better get going. No need to see us off.
I know you mentioned a while back that people from Nadland would soon start showing up all over the world. But I hadn't expected anything like this.
It seems no matter where they come from, all dragons are inquisitive by nature.
You can say that again, bro!
The same might well be said for humankind. The real reason you chose to stay to investigate this case was your curiosity about Natlan and Mr. Kakuku, was it not?
Guilty as charged. Nothing gets past you. So, how about we take this opportunity to chat a little more? We've got the world's best translator on hand, after all.
Sure thing, bro!
Work is work. Say it wherever you go. Standard procedure.
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Kakuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kakuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kakuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, well, it's really not that bad. Kakuku accidentally overheard some top-secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Mermonia for a while to sign a confidentiality agreement. But there's no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kakuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
catch up another day.
I've realized we're in a bit of a tricky situation here.
What do you mean?
If we go out, we won't have time to watch that film we rented.
But if we stay in and watch the film, we won't have time to go out.
Oh, you realized it too?
Yeah, well, pretty smart for a 5-year-old.
I've realized
What?
if we go out...
But if we stay in and...
Oh...
Yeah, well...
That unique aroma. I wonder how you'll inspire my cooking. All right, then. I'll just go with the flow.
It's all your fault! All your fault! Your fault, your fault, your fault!
Stop yelling and get to the point.
If you hadn't kept me locked away, I could have asked that judge to step in for me! He'd have backed me up for sure, and then we'd have kicked your sorry little butt!
For real now? Did you even hear yourself? You'd better focus on outsmarting Kakuku first.
That unique aroma. All right, then.
Whoa, is that our hero, the Traveler? And Paimon, too! Oh, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Mrs. Coiffier already told me you were the big boss here. But when I saw you just now, I forgot myself for a moment.
Technically speaking, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland doesn't even have a boss, does it? Isn't it the idea that everyone works together to make it as successful as possible, and then we all share the profits? But, wait a sec. Why are you here, Veressa?
Well, officially, I'm here to promote my brand. Not long ago, Mrs. Coiffier placed an order with me for her restaurant, as she often does. In her letter, she mentioned that showcasing my orchard's products at the festival would boost sales and help build my brand recognition. After talking it through with my parents, I decided to give it a shot. Now that I'm done with the restaurant's ingredient order, I plan to sell the rest of my fruit directly to guests to help quench their thirst, of course.
The thought of enjoying fresh fruit from Natland here in Fontaine does sound pretty appealing. But with this many customers, wouldn't it be exhausting to watch the stall all day?
Huh? Am I supposed to be watching the stall the whole time? There's an attraction over there called Movie Masterpieces, right? I heard some of the challenges are based on famous films. Some of those films have even been adapted into great comics. I'd love to go give it a try.
So, you're not doing any business at all?
Back in the Collective of Plenty, I'd just set up a sign with the fruit prices, place a weighing scale and a coin jar to one side, then let people pay on their own. When closing time came around, I'd wake up and check the accounts. Not a single Mora's ever gone missing.
To be fair, that does sound nice. People in the Collective of Plenty are a law-abiding bunch. No one would even think about taking something without paying. Makes sense that tending your stall wouldn't take too much effort. Fontanian customers are no doubt trustworthy too, but let's just say they're not used to self-service shopping. Plus, if you just leave the stall unattended as a Natlanese merchant, people here might think you're gone for good.
In that case, I'd better start acting the part. But I'll need to buy some things in the city before I officially open for business. I promised to bring back some Fontanian clockwork mecha for Kochi-an-san. Oh, and I also wanted to try a few rounds of movie masterpieces. After that, I should be able to focus on my business without getting distracted.
We might not be locals, but we've explored Fontaine quite a bit. We know our way around pretty well.
In that case, give me a moment to get some extra fruit, a price list, and my coin jar set up. I get to go shopping with the Traveler! Nice.
Welcome to the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland! Oh, your encouragement leaves Paimon feeling even more motivated than ever! But now they've got films to watch. Even the ones who used to cause trouble might settle down a bit, right? We have our very own animal-themed area, by the way. We call it Mellow Manor. Customers are calling it the most relaxing place in the park. Oh, you mean we could invite Sigewinne to be a consultant at Mellow Manor? Now that you mention it, that sounds like a great idea! Sigewinne's great at caring for people, and she's so warm and gentle. Looking after animals should be a piece of cake! Yeah, like someone who gives advice and tells the park staff how to do their jobs better. The workload won't be too heavy, but it's important work. Besides, you'll mostly be playing with the animals. With Sigewinne on board, Mellow Manor's gonna be even better than before! Paimon has a feeling our revenue's gonna shoot through the roof!
Hello, boss. I'm from the Collective of Plenty. You might recall receiving a letter from us requesting you to design some components.
Wait a sec. Why does Eonsan need clockwork mecha?
Nothing like that. Our coach just wants to fine-tune her gym equipment so people can target different muscle groups more easily. She mentioned something about a rowing machine to focus on back muscles, as well as a pec deck and a leg press machine. The parts that connect the ropes and weight plates wear out easily, but they need to be strong. So Coach Eon-san thought she'd give Fontainian Clockwork Mecha a try.
It all sounds so technical. When did fitness turn into some kind of complex engineering problem?
To be honest, I don't really get all the details either. But if it works out, I'll be sure to train according to her revised method. And if it doesn't, we can always stick to the good old methods. If you're interested, I can show you a few beginner exercises the next time you drop by our tribe. You'll be able to smash the records without even breaking a sweat. I know it.
Paimon will pass on that one. She'll be rooting for you from the sidelines, though.
You can always try the equipment we keep for little Saurians, Paimon. As long as you start out with the super lightweights, you'll be fine. Weight training's for everyone, you know. As long as you put in the effort and keep it, anyone can develop rock-solid muscles.
No!
Know of any new orchestral pieces? I like to swap out the background music in the kitchen once in a while. It's a great way to find new inspiration.
I didn't expect to see you here either! Guess that's not scenery most Fontanians see every day, huh? Wait, aren't fight scenes supposed to be as realistic as possible? Surely the more punches that land, the better. You sure that's okay?
show off how fast I can run. I'm gonna go have a blast, then come back, calm down, and focus on running my fruit stall.
That's right. Last thing you'd want is to get too absorbed in having fun, then suddenly realize you're starving because you haven't eaten anything for hours. Funnily enough, Paimon can think of someone else with a bad habit of getting so into things that they forget to eat. No matter how busy you are, nothing's more important than staying well-fed, hydrated, and healthy.
No need to worry about me, guys. I do a lot of long-distance running, so I always make sure to bring some food and water with me. This time is no exception.
Woohoo! That was incredible! How was it? Did you get through all the levels?
It was amazing! Not only did I get a super high score, but I also checked up on every homage to the original films, and even recreated several iconic scenes starring comic book superheroes. I'll focus on doing business this time round, but if there's ever another event like this, please let me know as early as possible. I want it!
Yep. You know what? We should let you design the levels! I'm sure all the fans will be thrilled!
That would be great! Anyway, back to business. Time to focus on my fruit stall. I'm gonna make a name for my orchard in Fontaine. Seeing how happy everyone is here, I can't help smiling myself. Would you like some fruit? Feel free to take some.
It's been a few days. Ban on flying objects should be over by now. Let's head over to the Palais Mermonia to see how Kukuku's doing.
little dudes. Good morning.
Oh, wow! Cuckoo's learned a new greeting! Is that good news or bad news, though?
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Wait, so that's all you've been up to this whole time?
Get out of here.
Huh? Okay, so good mornings aside, please tell Paimon there's been some other progress too.
Of course. That's why I'm here. Kukuku's not the only one that Mr. Risley's been getting to talk. I'm referring, of course, to the convicts.
It was nothing. These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
So, what's the deal?
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Natlan. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. All in all, he didn't look any different from your average Natlanese traveler. Perhaps seeing that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asking if they could share a boat. The smugglers were very cautious, though. They didn't tell him any specifics. But all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail. I thought they looked shady, so I snuck aboard, and ended up being carried along all the way to Fontaine.
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie. It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natlan's foreign trade is just starting to lift off. There'll be a market for it, you'll see.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face. Calloused hands. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even an adventurer? Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast-going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this.
What was that sound?
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie.
That's right.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Scarred face? On closer inspection, could he have previously been a something feels off.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this. Let's go hear what these criminals have to say.
Hey, why the long face? You're abroad on business, and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. You better cheer up if you know what's good for you.
I guess you're right. I was just worried I might have messed up with the packing, or that something's gonna go wrong along the way.
Oh, pull yourself together. Tons of foreign tourists come traveling to Fontaine. I bet their luggage is full of all kinds of weird stuff. If someone insists on checking it all, just show them the purchase order we had drawn up. Those Fontanians can't get enough of their legalese, so I've heard. They can look all they want.
Aha. So their aim is to smuggle in contraband after all. Looks like I've gathered enough intel about the smugglers and their contraband. Time to inform port security. So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontanian guards about my suspicions. After an investigation and a chase, they finally apprehended them and sent them on their way.
Well, guess they're headed exactly where they should be.
Thanks.
Based on your recollections just now.
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to other passers-by.
Yeah, Kanish, you did great!
In other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers whatsoever. They were working entirely on their own.
Oh dear, oh dear!
Sounds like Mr. Kakuku wants to chime in?
He said this elusive individual's actions are positively mystifying.
It's a good observation, I quite agree. However, we still know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the lost item itself.
It certainly seems like it was the bait in some kind of trap. The only question is, why wasn't the bait made more conspicuous?
Has something sprung to mind?
I just remembered a film I watched this one time.
Huh? Oh, wow! No way, bro!
Hold on, let me explain. Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. That got me thinking about those films about kidnapping cases. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot for someone to come pick up.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspired the films.
Sounds plausible.
Ooh, wait. This raises the stakes to a whole new level. If the gun really was some kind of ransom, then since we took the box, the kidnappers never got their payment, so does that mean they executed the hostage?
I agree. I don't believe we have a kidnapping on our hands. Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would want to avoid. Unless they're after something very specific, they tend to just ask for cash. Could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? It's not impossible, but the likelihood is very slim. We can discount that possibility for now. And speaking of selling stolen goods, don't you think this looks more like a transaction?
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler at work.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused the deal to fall through. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach to turn into a bustling film convention overnight. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rosula have a presence there. I'll bet that both parties were completely caught off guard.
That sounds like a plausible theory, but how do we verify it?
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeves.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a lost and found notice. The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. Even if they send a proxy, we're liable to get our hands on new leads. And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board anyway. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up the notice for us post-haste.
Ah, so that's what you meant by rolling up their sleeves. In that case, I may as well write it myself. Delegating this to someone else would require an additional explanation.
Or are you just not used to asking others to work overtime?
Is that really a major concern here?
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here. At least until the notice has been posted.
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly fine cup of tea if that swings it for you.
Thanks, but no thanks. I left a very noisy creature with a friend before heading out, so I should probably get back to feed it.
Ah, I wasn't aware that you had a pet, Mr. Kanich. Speaking of pets...
Get out of here! Out of here!
Yep, that's the plan. Out of here indeed.
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave, Mr. Kukuku. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Kukuku should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object. As such, he shall be free to move around Fontaine whenever he so pleases.
You're the best, bro!
Oh, that really is good news! Travelers, should we bring Kukuku back to Aoife and Auroran?
I shall leave him in your capable hands. Indeed.
You know, all this has made me realize that I'd quite like to have a pet.
If that proves inconvenient within the fortress of Meripede, perhaps you should consider finding a place in the court of Fontaine.
That actually sounds like a good idea. In the past, I always dismissed the idea of buying a property in the city. The prophecy about the floods meant it never seemed like a worthwhile investment. But now...
This might be a good time for you to re-examine the documents I gave you regarding your title as Duke.
Huh?
Citizens with honorary titles are eligible for certain benefits when purchasing property in the court of Fontaine.
Really?
How about this? You read through your documents from start to finish, while I write up the lost and found notice. If that proves inconvenient within the fortress...
That actually sounds like a good idea. In the past, I always dismissed the idea of buying a property in the city. The prophecy about the flood...
This might be a good time for you to re-examine the documents I gave you regarding your title as Duke.
Huh?
Citizens with honorary titles are eligible for certain benefits when purchasing property in the court of Fontaine.
Really?
How about this? You read through your documents from start to finish, while I write up the lost and found notice.
How?
What? What now?
Let's shake hands.
Fine by me. Get ready for a knuckle sandwich!
Ugh.
Oh, nice dodge.
Paimon feels strangely inclined to keep a safe distance. You miss me, bro?
Cuckoo, you're free!
Ugh, not you again. Nope, didn't miss you in the slightest.
Hey, Gramps. And hey, Paimon and Kanich. It's good to see you all. Thanks for bringing Kukuku back.
Get it away! Get it away from me! Nice to meet you, bro. Who are you calling bro? Say that again to my face! I dare you.
If you've got the energy to argue this much, you're clearly not hungry yet. Let's go find something to eat while a How lives his best life.
Poor How. He spent all day being tormented by Auroron, only to discover that the suffering's just begun.
Aoife, as a Saurian vet, how can you just sit back and watch our little dragon bro suffer?
Huh? How am I the bad guy?
Even hear yourself? Ah! Doesn't anyone want to hear how Kukuku got out of jail?
Don't lose hope, How. By the same standard, you have freedom of movement now, too. You're still in the game?
Same standard? I will not be held to the same standard as that thing!
That's right. You won't. As far as I understand, the Palais Mermonia will want to assess your case on its own merits before they grant you freedom of movement.
Where's that Saurian meat restaurant again? I'm gonna march that little pink balloon right into the kitchen!
Yeah, good luck with that, bro. You'll be putting your own neck on the line, too.
Also, there's
Anyway, thanks for looking after Ahau, guys. I'll take over from here.
Why, you? Between the two, Kakuku wins the cuteness competition hands down. Really? Thanks! Wait, who are the other contestants, though?
So now that our crew's back together again, what's our next move? Oh, how about a game of rock, paper, scissors?
No chance. If I lose, we'll end up stuck in the room watching films all over again.
Nope. This time, we'll only watch a film if I lose instead.
Had enough too, huh?
For real now? Come on, bro.
Can we just ditch this whole leaving it all to chance thing? Why don't we take our fate into our own hands?
Aren't we doing that already? Rock, paper, scissors uses our hands.
Don't know why you're laughing. You're stuck with paper every time.